And a lot of times, like let's say kids, for instance, kids have that whimsy about them. They have that connection, right? That seems to fade as one becomes an adult. Well, the kids aren't using their intellect to have that level of, uh, I guess, metaphysical feelers out or whatever, some sort of a connection that we lose or degrade over time. That's not their intellect that's doing that, that deeper connection with source. So, yeah, that was just
Yeah, I think that's a good analogy for a couple of reasons. Like it is it is the case because it brings in the intellectual um conceit and the frustration that intellectuals have, which they just need to realize is on them, of like, oh, we're better than these people. You can't tell, but we definitely are. It's kind of like, well, NPR is so much better than Joe Rogan.
yeah.
I mean, you can have a debate about that, but not numbers wise, at least. But there's so there's a case to be made to say, well, the kid who farts and gets a bunch of, or let's say the girl who says something uh untoward when she's pretty hammered and gets a bunch of views and a whole podcast based on it. She's probably not the best set up for a long-term successful career in media broadcasting just based on the fact that she said something lewd while she was drunk. Like, that's a fair point.
Right, you don't want
Uh,
to talk to it, right? As much.
yeah. So, um, so anyhow, like, there's something to be said for proper preparation and depending on the arena that you're operating in. But it's also the case that someone can get in through another, like, well, let's say Joe Rogan. He didn't go to I don't think he went to college, as far as I know. He didn't, I was going to say he didn't go to an Ivy League school, but I don't think he went to college at all. Um, but he's run a successful, I don't know, people might object to calling it various things. It's not exactly a news program, but not every episode, certainly, but a periodic interview channel with other mixed content. Like he's essentially run his own multifaceted media program on his own for what, over a decade now, and is the most successful in the world. And like, does it matter that he didn't go to college? Well, you'll have people who will make very vehement cases that yes, it absolutely does, and he spreads misinformation and this, that, and the other thing. Um, you know, could be true, well, arguably is true in some cases, but guess what? NPR has spread misinformation and still does. And if you don't believe that, then you're worshiping NPR just as much as you think whoever is worshiping Joe Rogan. So, anyhow, that ties in the whole intellectual arrogance part of it. It ties in the um, sort of random or unconventional pathway into things. I think it also, as we were talking about, like, well, you actually some preparation and having the pre-developed skill set is necessary. So that shows the limitations of the analogy because that's why in this chapter I'm only making the case about the belief and basic orientation of the proper attitude towards God or the proper faith. Because in almost everything else, it actually does matter how you get there. It does matter how you prepare. It does matter how you question everything and how you put your beliefs together and make your decisions. Like there is a proper path of well, a general proper path of wise discernment and diligent preparation and execution. That stuff all does matter. Even if you get on the scene in a weird way, you either have that or you don't, and that's going to determine your success. but with the proper faith, the proper basic relationship with God, basic attitude towards life, you don't need to prep for that. You don't, because it's already given. It's already just you're either in harmony with the basic truth of your own life that already exists despite whatever you think about it, or you're in enmity to that. And if you're in harmony with it, great. Like that's all there is to it. You don't need to prep for that because it's a given. It's already set up for you. So there's this one case, and that's the only thing I'm making the case about, um, that you don't need to worry about the prep work and how you got there in any matter. You're either in harmony with it or you're not, and you should get in harmony with it.
Mhm.